one of the most gifted poets of our time, Sister Clarressa Thompson, to come and share with us today. You talk about rap, we've been rapping a long time. We didn't just start rapping, but we've been rapping a long time. Put your hands together for Sister Clarressa Thompson, poet. All right.
Because God created everything, there is nothing we can't obtain, but we must be concerned with our spirit and not our worldly gains. Many of us do struggle because we never knew that we were here for a purpose with something specific to do. We must tune into the Spirit, pray earnestly each day, and stay still long enough to hear what God will say. I may not have a mansion, at least not one down here, but if it's in the plans above, I may have one next year. I may not have an office with all the latest things, but this has never stopped me from making my poems sing. I may not have a lot of things, but that's all right with me, because what I have is sufficient to set myself free. Good morning, Oakley. Good morning. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to stand before you this morning in the midst of my city tour. I just released my latest poem that I'm going to share with you this morning, and I'm touring the churches with it right now. It was released February the 28th at the Tridestone Missionary Baptist Church here in Columbus, Ohio. And I praise God that He has opened up doors for me to reach His people, because we are living in some perilous times. And you know, when I thought this morning, when I was on my way here this morning, I thought about Youth Sunday, and I said, well, I don't feel very young anymore, but if I could share something with my young people, the thing that I would share with you today is to accept what God has called you to be, whatever that might be. Accept what God has called you to be. Because you know, a lot of us struggle, and that's what I just said, that many of us do struggle because we never knew that we were here for a purpose with something specific to do. Something specific to do. And we get caught up and sidetracked in society by folks telling us, well, you ought to be a doctor, well, you ought to be a lawyer, well, you ought to be a teacher, you ought to be a preacher. What God gave you to do is what's going to make you more prosperous, both financially, spiritually, and mentally. And that's why I said, because what I have is sufficient to set myself free. I wouldn't stand here before you today if I didn't know that I know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I praise God, because I struggled so long with being a poet, just a poet. What I came to realize as I got older is that anything that God creates does not start with just. So I'm not just anything. And you're not just anything. When somebody asks you your name, you don't say, my name is just Clarressa Thompson. My name is Clarressa Thompson. So we need to begin to accept what God has given us to do. And not only to our young people, many of our elders are still struggling because we refuse to accept what God has given us to do. What God has given us to do, He has already equipped you to do that. So we needn't be afraid of what He has called us to do. But I'm not going to preach. I'm going to read you this poem. I have traveled near and far, seen some things that broke my heart. So I asked this question from the very start. What in the world are we doing? There's people hurting everywhere. Help lies in some who do not care. What in the world are we doing? Do you have any idea who and where you are? Or does your mind even venture that far? What in the world are we doing? Are you thinking about the things you do? Or do you think you're just passing through? What in the world are we doing? Have you dared to see what's going on anywhere outside your lawn? What in the world are we doing? Are you living in the present as though it's play? What in the world are we doing? Do you suffer mentally? No desire to be free? What in the world are we doing? Are you settling for less, unwilling to become your best? What in the world are we doing? Are you comfortable with pain, like life clouded by the rain? What in the world are we doing? Is your heart with burdens filled? Has it all your spirit killed? What in the world are we doing? Too afraid to take a stand, your excuse for not lending a hand. What in the world are we doing? Think that you can't make a difference, hard time finding what your niche is. What in the world are we doing? Are you living full of rage, can't find the key to unlock your cage? What in the world are we doing? Are you living in denial, afraid to face your true life trial? What in the world are we doing? Are you living medicated, up or heavily sedated? What in the world are we doing? Are your dreams inside decaying because of risks you keep delaying? What in the world are we doing? Are you afraid to reach your goals for fear that you might stand alone? What in the world are we doing? Are you living your life stagnant, sticking to one place like a magnet? What in the world are we doing? Do you doubt your own process because your life is in such a mess? What in the world are we doing? Are you living in quicksand, need someone to grab your hand? What in the world are we doing? Have you found the easy way, life prices you refuse to pay? What in the world are we doing? Are you sharing what you know? Do you care if others grow? What in the world are we doing? Do you hold the keys to freedom, keeping them from those who need them? What in the world are we doing? Have you ever touched a soul or helped somebody reach a goal? What in the world are we doing? Are you sitting at the top, watching those around you drop? What in the world are we doing? Are you stifling someone's chance for their life to be enhanced? What in the world are we doing? Is your extra dollar spent on someone less fortunate? What in the world are we doing? Are you standing in the way of someone's progress today? What in the world are we doing? Do you live the words you're preaching? Are you sure you're equipped for teaching? What in the world are we doing? Are you pleasing all the forces, not real sure just what your course is? What in the world are we doing? Is there something you've been hiding, like you have no business guiding? What in the world are we doing? Is it your participation that's enhanced discrimination? What in the world are we doing? Are you stepping on just to step up? Are you draining someone just to fill your cup? What in the world are we doing? Treating life just like we hate it, as purposefully as it was created. What in the world are we doing? You are in the world to do something that benefits more than you. So we need